Hey guys, I'm Chewy Mew, but my real name is Eric, and welcome to another Chewy Mew review, where in the previous video I reviewed, in my opinion, the most awesome looking Spider-Man figure ever. I think this figure is absolutely amazing. It's not my favorite figure, I just think it looks amazing. But we're taking a look at a figure that also looks amazing, and that is the Marvel Legends Toy Biz Green Goblin from the Onslaught series. He looks straight out of the 90s cartoon, and I love the 90s cartoon, and this figure looks 100% like it. It's awesome looking. I got this, I think, at a yard sale, but either way, I ended up losing the little display stand. There was a thing that you'd put him, and he would like peg onto it, and it would hold the glider up straight. Then I pop him off of his glider, which the feet just stick in there like that. They don't have peg holes, but who cares? When a figure's this good and it has like slight issues, it's still so amazing that in the end it doesn't matter. Let's put him there. Let's take, oops, sorry, Goblin. Put him there. Stay there and take a look at the glider. So the glider doesn't have a face on it, which I don't remember if the 90s cartoon had a face on the glider. It might have not, but either way, that face, or not face, is so smooth and so flat. It's kind of curvy and the plastic's kind of rubbery. It looks really awesome. As a kid, I thought you could turn the head, and I tried and it never turned. So I didn't try anymore. On the bottom, there's like little screws here, which you can actually take off these wings, which I never saw a purpose to doing so. On the back, I always thought this turned too, but it doesn't. It has like a little like turbine thing. There's no fire coming out, which I think if it did, that would be amazing, but it doesn't. It has like these little bat grooves. Kind of looks like a batarang from Batman. You can see some more lines here on it from the bat. You can see where the foot slides in. You know, he has peg holes on the bottom. If they would have put like a peg, like if you put the foot in and they put a peg to like pop him right there, I think he would fit perfectly on the glider. He does kind of wiggle a bit because his ankle or his foot right here is kind of narrow. When you put that in here, when you put it in here, it kind of wiggles a bit. I just wish it would have been like maybe secure, tighter, you know, something that would have made him stick on better. But either way, the glider on its own looks awesome. I've seen this figure on eBay for like $40, $50, but I got this at a yard sale for maybe like $8, which at a yard sale, usually at yard sales, they sell toys for like $3 or $4, but this one was like $8 or $9, and my mom was like, no, that's expensive for a yard sale. And I was like, but Mom, this is like the best Green Goblin ever. And she was like, okay, get it. But that's all I got at that yard sale. But, you know, to me, I would even pay like $20 for this used nowadays, because that just looks straight out of the 90s cartoon. Unfortunately, I will say it's not my favorite Green Goblin ever, but this is definitely my favorite. This is based off the 90s cartoon, so it definitely is up there. I only have, I think, like maybe 4 Green Goblins. I'm going to look at them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 Green Goblins, and this would be 5. I have 5 Green Goblins, and this is definitely in like probably like the top 3. Top 3 just to be safe, maybe top 2 even. But this figure looks awesome. This figure looks amazing. The only issue I have with, actually the only 2 issues I have with this, which are kind of minor, is his legs look kind of skinny. His legs look really skinny, and as a kid, I didn't play with this one too much because I was always so scared of breaking the knees. Like, look how much they wiggle. I was always afraid of bending the knees and moving because I was so afraid of like turning him and breaking it. So like I said before in previous videos, one of my friends and I, we would get our Spider-Man figures together. I had a lot more than him because like you've seen all the ones I reviewed. I had a lot more. He pretty much only had the ones that I didn't have. And so this was one of them he didn't have. And when we would play with, I would never bring this one out to play with because I was always so scared of breaking this joint. Because, you know, when we play, we get a little bit rough with them. We get kind of rough with them. And I was always so afraid of breaking his knees that I never took him outside to play. One time he came into my house and he was like, hey, why don't you ever bring him out to play? And I was like, I'm so scared of breaking the knees, so I never brought it out to play. The arms are actually kind of thicker. That's one of my only complaints. If these were just a little bit thicker, like, you know, get a little bit more thick, like little thick, like not, you know, don't make him a thick boy, but just make him have a little more meat right there, you know. It's kind of wiggly, kind of loose, but who cares? The only other complaint is it looks like he's supposed to have a belt, which I've looked up pictures and stuff. He doesn't have a belt, which I might actually go at some point make a custom belt for him. I'm not going to super glue it on. I might just make a custom belt that I could just take off. Because in the 90s cartoon, he did have a belt with like a belt buckle. I actually have another figure that's similar that has a, I'm not going to say who it is, but I have another figure that has a belt. And so it makes me feel like he should have a belt. That's like the only complaints I have. The only complaints is I'm so scared of these knees breaking and that he doesn't have a belt. But with how awesome this figure looks, with how comic book accurate and how perfect he looks, this figure is just amazing. Like, let's take a look at the face first. I'm going to move the camera closer so we can take a look at the face. Look at that face. He looks insane. He looks so crazy. He looks just like the 90s cartoon. Even if you tilt it down, like, look at that face. He's got slightly yellow teeth, which it's appropriate. He's got yellow eyes with the little pupil in it, all the wrinkles on the forehead. When you put it close, he kind of has, the forehead kind of reminds me of a scroll. And there's got the big ear, big pokey ears. You can see the ear canal, or like the ear hole, all the sculpting on the ears, which I think the Raimi Green Goblin does really good job at kind of copying this, except different. You can see the top of his hat. You can see they even put like the line, it looks like where the thing was stitched together going down here. You can see he's got some more wrinkles on the neck. He doesn't have an Adam's apple, and I even noticed now, like, he has purple there on the neck, which it doesn't look like it's on accident. It looks like it's there on purpose. He has the collar for his thing going around. Move the bag out of the way. You can see how the torso, look at the torso, how it has like all that texture to it. Like, you can hear that, like a scratch. It looks really textured, really cool. The hat, the torso is like a shiny color. The gloves, the boots, and the hat aren't shiny, which I don't remember if the 90s cartoon looks like that, but I think here it looks really good. Like, I'd imagine his main outfit piece would look like that. The arms are kind of like in the camera they look kind of metallic. In real life they don't look too metallic. There's some like a little bit of dust and dirt on here from like, you know, playing with it. And he was sitting on a shelf for a while because I was so scared of breaking it that I didn't play with it too much. You can see some more wrinkles here on his hat. You can see the groove. There's like a little paint injection there. The camera will focus there. Little paint injection there. Come on, focus right there. Yeah, little paint injection. Ooh, sheesh. This tripod, I'm using a tripod that's kind of broken, so it keeps like falling over. He's got his bag, and you can see like all the little knits and stitches on the bag. Move his arms up. See the bag right there has like a little button on it, which the button actually looks like it has a pumpkin bomb symbol on it. It's really hard to tell. The bag has some more stitching to it. You can see where the bag opens up here. On the bottom, you can even see the wrinkles here. Like, I feel like Hasbro wouldn't bother putting wrinkles on the underside of the bag, but Toy Biz did. Like, you can see the wrinkles. You know, like when you wear a backpack and it gets kind of wrinkly like that? There's more of the torso. There's the pelvic area. And it looks like, even if you look here, it looks like that's kind of grooved in, which makes me feel like he's supposed to have a belt. But maybe they meant to put a belt and something happened that they didn't put a belt or something maybe. The legs have the sculpting like it does in the comic books and like the 90s cartoon. And if you scratch it, makes a scratching sound, which kind of, I always thought it looked kind of like Aquaman's kind of suit, but I think Green Goblin's scales look better. The foot, again, narrow ankles, which the sculpt on this thing is so awesome. The narrow ankles don't even matter. You can see the boot is kind of shiny, not as shiny as the torso. It's got some sculpting there. These joints are green. They actually were purple, but the paint wore off. You can see he's got like the stitches going up the boot there. You can even see my fingerprint. On the bottom of the foot, you know what it's going to say. This one says made in China. It's upside down though. And on the other foot, we bend the foot and put it here. It's made by you-know-who. This can only be made by one company, and that's Toy Biz, 2006. This figure is definitely top 2, maybe even top 3. Top 3, maybe top 2 figures. Even comes with a pumpkin bomb in his hand. You can't take out the pumpkin bomb, and I wouldn't try because I wouldn't want to break it. As a kid, I always wanted to take the pumpkin bomb off, but who cares? Take a look at the gloves there. There's more sculpting to it. You can see like the texture on it. Again, these are purple, but the paint does wear off over time. You can see the little stitches on the thumbs. Or on the fingers. Take a look at the glove on the other side. They put more wrinkles here, which the amount of detail Toy Biz puts is insanely well. Even the like quality control is amazing on this. Move the camera back a little bit. Stupid tripod. I need to like swap it out with another. I have another tripod set up, which is used for my gaming channel to record my face, but it's so hard to move. I don't want to take it off. And this one is used for figure reviews and to hold my microphone and stuff, but Pumpkin Bomb also looks like it's sad. Also, they allow the fingers to open up here, even though you can't really close it. They still allow you to open the fingers, which I think that's still awesome that they allow you to do that. Just the sculpting on this figure is amazing. I will say, the sculpting on, in my opinion, the sculpting on this Green Goblin is the best sculpt out of all my collection of figures. The sculpt is definitely the best on this guy. The Raimi Trilogy Green Goblin figure, that has to be potentially my favorite Green Goblin, just because I love the trilogy and because that figure looks so fun, so much fun to play with. This guy, definitely as far as sculpt goes, this guy beats him in terms of sculpt. Like, the sculpt on this thing is 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10. And it looks like the 90s cartoon. It's just so much amazingness, perfectness, and then he's got this insanely amazing, awesome glider. Like, the glider alone is amazing. It's so simple. There's nothing like, crazy. It doesn't have like the insane amount of detail and sculpt as this guy, but it doesn't need all that amazing sculpt. The fact that it's curved, it looks so creepy. It looks like a bat flap. It looks like a bat like flapping its wings, which I think looks awesome. The weird like demon looking face without a face looks awesome. It doesn't have much sculpt, but the sculpt it does have is insane. I might actually make something out of clay that can peg on there and hold the glider, because this poor guy, I have to lean him up or put glue dots to like hold him on my display shelf so he doesn't fall off. And I probably praised this the most. I will definitely say these two figures in terms of sculpt, and look are the best in my collection. These two, as far as sculpts and attention to detail, these two are both 11 out of 10 in my collection. There are figures that I love more than these two, but as far as sculpt, the amount of detail they put into this is awesome. The one thing only, which, who cares, he doesn't have a six-pack here, because all the wrinkles in his clothes, you can't see his six-pack, which, to me, that's really realistic. That's really cool. Like, because his suit's not like, crazy skin-tight spandex like Spider-Man is, so you can't see his skin, you can't see his six-pack. You can see some of the ab muscles here over there, like on the sides. You can see some of the torso pectorals. You can see, like, the split between the pectorals. But you can't see his six-pack, which, to me, that's even a good thing, because that's, like, attention to detail, because if he's wearing the stuff that's not too crazy tight, why would you see his muscles through, But either way, let's take a look at this amazing creature's articulation. The head bends down all the way. It doesn't go up too much because it's awesome thing, but he can look up. The head rotates all the way around. Yeah, it rotates all the way around. I'm kind of scared moving stuff because I feel like one of these times are going to break the neck or something. The torso crunches a bit also, because mine, from playing with it, it got a lot of, the waist got really loose, so I put some glue dots here, which is actually coming out, it's kind of sticking out there. You can't really see it, but it goes back a bit and goes forward a bit. Not too much mobility. The glue dot keeps coming out. Go down there, glue dot. He has rotation here in the waist. Makes a good clicking. Listen to that click. The arms rotate all the way around, which these two, very clicky. The arms don't go up all the way, but they go up pretty good. Also, some people complain about the Toy Biz figures where they have, like, the joints are ball-shaped, which, to me, I don't care. Especially on this figure, it looks like he just has big shoulders and normal legs. Like, some of them, it's not noticeable at all. Some of them, yeah, you can tell, like, oh, it looks like the shoulders are ball-shaped, but who cares? If you don't like that, go away. Rotate the arm all the way around. Double bend in the elbow, rotation here at the start of the glove, hinge in the wrist, and on this hand, you can't close the fist because the bomb, but you can open the fingers all the way, and on this side, you can open the hand all the way, and you can close them into a fist. It doesn't close all the way into a fist, but it closes enough that it looks like a fist, like that, pretty cool. The legs kick up, they go back, actually, they go back a lot, wow, I didn't notice that. The legs can go up all the way, and of course, Green Goblin can do the splits. He can do the splits. Of course he can do the splits. He can almost kill Spider-Man. Of course he can do the splits. The legs rotate here all the way. Double bend in the knee. Rotation here in the boot. He has a very good bend in the toe, like a crazy bend in the toe. It does go down pretty good too. And his ankle pivot that goes back amazingly and goes forward amazingly. The only other thing, the minor complaint I could have is that he doesn't have the hinge in the foot to, like, you know, bend it in and out. Because this figure, that's like, he would have benefited so much. He fits awesome on the glider, but that would have just made it that much better. That's why he's 11 out of 10 and not 12 out of 10. Yeah, just, that's like my only complaints, that I wish he had a belt and the knees were slightly bigger. Let me know how much you love this figure. Let me just think about him in the 90s cartoon. And, you know, like this video. If you like this video, you know, leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see more awesome reviews of awesome figures like this. And I will see you guys in the next video. You know, he doesn't even need why. He's perfect. Bye.